Today's topic is kind of makes me nervous to talk about. I'm gonna be honest, just because I feel like I don't know. I feel like if you say something wrong when it comes to like parenting and babies, then like moms are down your throat. Like I don't know.
Yeah, and this is not what we expected. So welcome back to your Cup of Tea podcast. It's 2024, baby. First podcast of the year.
First podcast.
Let's
It's
go.
crazy. So this one we're kind of going to be doing a little bit of like expectation versus reality of having a baby and like talking about different topics with kids and like having them and like your lifestyle changes and like just a whole bunch of other things that are pretty interesting, which I always get nervous. I don't know why talking about
I get nervous
moms
doing
scare me. Like they're
anything
mean
with
sometimes.
our baby. I don't know why. Like I do and I don't. It's like a double-edged sword. Like
Yeah.
one day it's like I don't care what anybody says. Like it's our child, it's our life. We'll do our thing. And then the next day it's like, wait a minute. He said I'm a bad parent.
Okay, so
Which actually that's never.
So here's an example is I made like a TikTok basically just saying one of the expectation versus realities. And one of the expectation was everyone always says to you when you're pregnant, they're like, oh, get all your sleep in now. You're never going to sleep again. Like, and everyone says that. Cause I feel like they almost,
to your life.
yeah, I almost feel like
Life is over.
I feel like they don't know what to say. So they just say that. And like, they're not 100% wrong, but in the TikTok, I was like, oh, like, let me tell you why this is a lie. Like, we've been sleeping great. And I even said in the TikTok, I was like, don't get me wrong. I was like, the first month and a half were like hard and like we were definitely up a lot, but I was on this like little adrenaline like kick from having a new baby. And everyone's like, you're lying, like this and that. And they're like, they were like mad at me for it. And I was like, sometimes I feel like moms don't want other people to be like happy about something. If I like go on social media, sometimes I feel like if I try and have a positive outlook on it and still like acknowledge the hard things, I sometimes feel like people like don't like that. I don't know why.
Honestly, people hate when you're positive. People hate when you're
No,
happy.
not everyone. That's
everybody.
not 100% true because there is so many comments too.
But that's what I'm trying to say though. No one hates on people that aren't successful, who aren't like you never see someone hating on someone that's like unsuccessful and like unhappy and unmotivated. Yeah. Like people aren't hating on those people, like people just love to hate on people that are successful, happy, and things are going good for them. I feel like people would love to hear you say like, I got 30 minutes of sleep last night.
Well, because it makes
horrible. Like people would probably like gas you up like, oh.
But I see where like I do understand that too, because it's like sometimes if I see social media, okay, when I watch other people's posts and someone has like a positive experience, it like gives me like this sense of like hope and like excitement for like the next chapter of life, whether it's like when I was pregnant and people talk about the positive things about having a baby. Like I like hearing those things, but then sometimes I do understand where it's like when someone else is struggling with something, it's nice to know you're not alone. So I guess it depends on how you receive information. So like for me, it's like, yes, I've had like hard times while becoming like a first time mom. Like, yes, of course. Remember that one night where I even talked about it on the podcast. So where I was like just overly tired and it like finally caught up to me and I was like breastfeeding her and I just started like kind of crying and you're like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm just really tired and I know I have to wake up in 2 hours. And like, I wouldn't even say that was like so hard, but like for me, I'm normally not the type of person who would want to like pull out a camera and film that. And it's not because I don't want to show that or talk about that. It's just like, that's the last thing on my mind. And like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to scare people into thinking it's hard because I feel like any great thing in life is gonna be hard, but there is so much. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I like to share the positive things about it, but I'm not trying to hide negative things.
No, and I would say like it's all about how you receive information, and then also like we're very positive minded people, so it's not like we like dwell on the negative stuff.
Which is a lot of topics that we were gonna talk about because I feel like with having a baby there is a lot of negative things. Obviously there's so much positive, but there is a lot of like things that people say, and some of them totally have truth to it. It's not like they're wrong. It's just like I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about some things.
It's 2024. Where Couple of Tea is gonna be spicy this year. I think. Do we actually spill the tea in 2024? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, let's spill.
Do we actually give some tea?
Okay, so the first thing that people. Okay, this is like an assumption, and we'll see if this is like if you think it's true or false.
Okay.
You won't be able to go out as much once you have a baby.
I would say true and false.
I was gonna say
feel
it
like my
kind of
answer
lies in the middle. No,
for every single one of these is gonna probably be true. And
no, there's some you'll like disagree with.
Yeah.
So
well, okay, I will say when I obviously found out you were pregnant, I remember like the last like 3-4 months before you were like 9 months pregnant, I was like, okay, I gotta play as much golf as I can.
Yeah.
I gotta hang out with the boys as much as I can.
So why did you think that though?
Because I was like,
Because people always say like,
no, I know people, like I was scared. I was like,
but
I didn't think my life would be over. Like that wasn't my mindset, but I was like, I'm probably not gonna be able to do these things. And I knew, I was like, and this time I feel like I have so much free time. I was like, I want to do all the fun stuff I can before I can't.
yeah. And I think where people were saying like, oh, you'll never golf again, like say goodbye to that. I think there is some truth to that too, because there's so many things that are situational, because if we didn't work together and you were like off at a job and then you come home and you're only home for like that short period of time before the kids go to bed, and then you're off all day Saturday golfing,
No, true,
like
100%.
I would definitely be upset as like a wife. Like it would be a lot harder because you're not around as
But
much.
I would
So it is
also say,
situational.
yeah, and it just depends on the person too. Because like
Yeah,
for me, for instance, if that was my situation, like I wouldn't even want to go golf on a Saturday, because it's like
exactly.
I don't even get to see my kid that much like during the week. Like I want
Yeah.
to spend the most time with her that I could on the weekend.
And that's no hate to if anyone
No,
golfs on a
I'm
Saturday
not.
or anything, because
Yeah,
everything's situational. You can always like wake up early before even the kids wake up or
true.
anything like that. But it's just like there is some truth to what people told you on that. But also like you still golf, you still go skydiving, you still do like your, I don't know, like everything you need to do. I'd say for me, it definitely has changed because it's hard as a mom, and it's not just like leaving her. That's like, I don't love leaving her because I feel like any new mom wouldn't. But for me, it's kind of like almost impossible to leave her because I'm breastfeeding and because I only produce like just enough milk. And so anytime I'm not with her, or if we have to get a babysitter or get someone to watch her, then that's like one time that I can't feed her. And then I'm like wasting my milk. So I don't want to end my breastfeeding journey. So to
Yeah,
me, I feel like I'm like kind of glued to her. I don't mind it though. Like I really thought like, I don't know, because sometimes you feel like moms are like, I just need a break. I feel like she's been pretty easy as a baby, so I don't feel that. But there has been times where I'm like, oh, it would be nice to just like go and do and like not think about, you
I
know.
agree.
So I definitely would say it's been like a little like for me, it's a little more like I can't just go to the gym, which I could. But honestly, I love working out with you. It's just easier to work out from home. Okay, so we're interrupting the podcast real quick from our quick sponsor from First Form. We've talked about them so many times because it is such a part of our lifestyle that like I just want to share that with you guys.
Everyday lifestyle.
And they have so much. So it's a high performance lifestyle brand. And we get protein powder from them. You wear a lot of their clothes
That's
too.
facts, which it is 2024. So
Mhm.
we're trying to take over in 2024, baby. We're trying to be the best version of ourselves, and starting with health. I
Yeah.
would say health is wealth. So if you guys want to check out any of First Form's products, a few of my favorites are the root beer float protein
Ooh,
powder.
it is so, it
So
actually
good.
tastes like a root
It
beer.
sounds disgusting. I know it does. I judged it so hard when they
Yeah.
first told me about it, and then I tried it, and I drink one every
So
single
good.
morning.
And the amino acids, we always have those when we go in the hot tub. Like
Yup.
those are our like go-to like night drink. I
The
don't know why.
energy drinks. Yo boy is actually sipping on one right now. It's kind of a daily thing for me. And then the
Yeah.
multi-pack vitamins, I love
Mhm.
taking those in the morning as well. And there's a whole bunch of other supplements we enjoy taking, but
So
those are our few favorites.
if you guys want to check them out, definitely make sure you guys click the link in description and go to firstform.com.
I'm gonna
And
link our favorite products so you guys can check them out and just go right to the link and purchase it from there. I think more so it's like for me, I feel like it's not as accessible to just go and do whatever you want
yeah.
at any given time.
Yeah.
You know
Because
what
you
I'm
had to,
saying?
well, you also had to ask me if I had anything planned
Like you're
too.
getting a massage tonight. Like typically, like if we didn't have a child, I would
Go
definitely book something fun around there, or like
or
just
go
go
work
hang out with
out.
friends,
Yeah.
or work out, or do something.
But now it's
But
like, no,
like
no, you're watching her
I'm
at
watching
this
Sky
time.
now,
Yeah.
which is fine. That's gonna be
But
more fun than any of those other options.
but
I'm not
it
complaining
does
about that. I'm just saying it just makes like your mindset changes though.
100%. And it's really weird because we are totally not planners. I don't think. I think we like to plan out our week and like things we do, but not like to the T of time and everything. And
Time wise, I'd say no, but like
so
planning, yes.
it's hard it's hard when you have a baby. You kind of have to get a little more on schedule. But I will say something that worked for us so good is like we did not put her on a schedule at all the first like couple months of her life because she just slept all the time. Like it almost would have made it harder
True.
to put a newborn on a schedule. It's kind of like we're just brought her along everywhere. And then now she's a little more like, okay, we got to get our naps in. And then like we definitely have like her bedtime routine now because now
Yeah.
she's a little older and more aware. But it is interesting. Don't you think like parenting changes so much like as she's
I was gonna
older
say, I feel
now.
like it's just like ever changing, like every week. Like
Hmm.
last week, she was sleeping with us. Now she's in her own room. Now she's got like a little bit of a night routine where
Yeah.
before, like
There was no night
before she would
routine.
just sleep whenever
Yeah. It
she
was just
slept a
whenever
lot.
we went to bed,
Yeah.
like we would just lay her down next to us and she'd sleep. So
Yep.
like there wasn't too much, but now there's a little bit more like we're trying to be cautious. Like even now she's napping, we're like, okay, don't talk too loud, don't wake her.
I know. I'm scared. She's like right next door. Or
But I
next
will say
door. She's in the room next door,
the
and I don't
won't
want to
being
wake her.
able to go out as much is definitely true. Um, but I don't mind it. I actually I love it. Like those days, honestly, days when we have like nothing to do and I'm just hanging out with her all day, or even like the days you go golfing or the days we spend as a family just all like hanging out and like playing with her. Like, I don't know, it's just so
As
fun.
far as like really going out that much though, like I guess as like party wise,
Party
like
wise.
we don't really do that often. And then as far as like going out to dinner, it's very easy to bring her.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I feel like she's been pretty, I feel like it would be harder when you have a
yeah,
toddler to go out to dinners because
definitely.
toddlers are like grabbing things more. That would be a little bit harder to bring a toddler, I think, out.
Yeah, and we've actually only had a babysitter twice for a wedding and
Yeah.
then for a birthday party.
Yeah, wedding and then a birthday party. And both times were good. The first time was your brother, and then the second time was an actual babysitter.
Yep.
And it was, I would say it wasn't as hard for me to leave her. It was more
How'd you
so like,
feel about that? Because like honestly,
well, I knew that the babysitter, so like it was our friend's nanny of like 2 years,
yeah,
and we're really close with them, and they have like nothing but great. I mean, it's
we've
almost
known
like part of their
her.
family.
Yeah,
So
we've
it's
known
like
her.
we've known her, we've seen her, and I just felt comfortable with her. So I
Right.
felt like she was in really good hands. So I really wasn't worried about that at all. But I was like kind of like I was worried about if she had enough milk like there, which I knew she had enough, but I still was like, I don't know, your like mindset changes. Like you want to go have fun, but you're also like, my baby, like I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's good to like not be like that and be able to go out still. Cuz we really haven't gone out I mean, we've literally only not
Twice.
had a babysitter twice and they weren't long times. I think it was like
Well, don't get me wrong. Like we still. I'm not saying we don't do stuff. I'm just
no.
saying like we mean like go out, go out. Like
Yeah.
we'll bring her when we go play pickleball. We'll bring her when we go
Mhm.
to friends' house. We'll just obviously we bring her.
That is one thing that I think that we've been pretty good at and I want to always stay good at is like bringing our kids wherever we go. And like, I think it's hard because as they get older, it could totally change too. Because you have to give a toddler, or even like once they're walking, you can't just like kind of bring them to pickleball.
No.
But you can, because the way we've been doing it is like we'll go to pickleball with our friends, and then our friends are all great with kids and have kids. So like they'll watch our kids while we play, and then so like it works.
Yeah,
I
it
said our
works.
kids.
Our kids.
We bring Topper. No, just kidding.
Hey,
Honestly, though.
manifesting 2024. You wild for
Okay,
that.
the next one, let's talk about sleep. This one got people mad, so I'm like nervous to talk about like
I
sleep.
get so scared talking about this stuff. I don't know why. Like, and I will say we did talk to a guy the other day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my baby's 3 months old, and she cries all night long."
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
I've
like,
heard that. I've heard
"Wow."
that a lot from people, even like our
I feel
neighbors.
for those people because we had a night like that in Michigan.
It
We
sounds
think she
so,
had like
Josh, it sounds so bad to say we had one night like that because
no,
it
I know.
literally has been one night.
But I'm just being honest. I can only say like my
But no,
reality.
and I feel like people get mad if that's like
I feel like people think we're almost lying. Like I'm not.
no,
I
don't
wish
get
I
me wrong.
was.
The
I
first like
don't.
I'd say month and a half, I was sleeping when I would sleep, but I was up every couple hours, every
Yeah.
about 3-ish hours, 2.5, 3 hours feeding her. And that caught up. I'd say after about a month, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But I only had like a couple, it really was only a couple hard days where I was like, this is just hard. And also we are very lucky. I don't have to get up for work at a certain time.
No.
But I will say I did pretty much that whole thing without help because some people be like, oh, well, you have a husband that's home to help you like with sleeping. And I was like, I kind of did that. And I'm not saying like you didn't
No,
help.
Katie did everything at night. I personally like I can't feed the baby. Like if she was ever
Yeah,
fussing just because she was fussing, which
she really
I
wasn't.
know
She was
people are gonna hate me for saying this, but like that doesn't really happen.
no,
She
she
only
never
cried at night
when
because
she was hungry. And so I would feed her and then I'd put her back down. And then I always trying to figure out how much like my milk was coming in and pumping. And so like I was up a lot in the middle of the night, but I never felt like beyond tired. I only had a couple days where I was like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
like hitting me. But some people will be like, oh, well, you had a husband like this and that who was there. And I'm like, it is so nice to have a good support system, because even just hearing Josh, though, be like, oh, babe, you got this. Like, that was super
Yeah, I would
helpful for
wake
me.
up, but like it's not. I definitely wasn't up like Katie. Like I would
No.
wake up for like 5 minutes and snooze off, and then like freak out, like where are
And
you? Where's the baby?
And he like will always would offer. He's like, oh, like I can feed the baby. And I was like, honestly, for me, it just seems easier because I'm gonna have to
Well,
wake up and pump.
I can't really feed the
Well,
baby.
like if I pumped and then, but then
Yeah,
I'm like doing work and then letting you feed. I'm like, let me just do it. And I almost felt
yeah,
like breastfeeding for me was just easier than to pump and then do it.
yeah. So
I don't know, it just kind of works.
you'd either have to wake up and pump, and while I feed her a
Yeah.
bottle, or like to me that wouldn't make sense.
So like, yes, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was like we've always slept so great. Like it definitely was a time period, but it was a lot shorter than what I thought it was going to be. But also she has 4 months and there is a 4 month sleep regression. And I know there's also like an 18-month sleep regression. And there's lots of different like times when you have babies with them sleeping. Some babies are really good sleepers and some aren't.
Yeah, we got
So,
scared because right before 4 months,
oh my
like we were in
gosh.
Michigan, and everybody around us was sick. Even
Oh,
Katie ended up
okay,
getting sick.
that's another
But
topic we'll talk about
yeah,
after. But yeah, I wasn't sick yet, and I had thought that Sky was sick for that day. I was like, "Oh, she's acting so weird. She
she didn't
never."
have a fever though. There was
No,
no
she
fever,
did,
but
but
she was acting
she felt
weird.
so warm to me. I was like, "She feels warm."
But it
And
was a
the
different
thermometer,
time change too. Time zone
it
change.
was, but
Our schedule was
I feel
off.
like I just like when I was feeding her, I was like, "She feels so warm."
She did feel
And then
warm.
we took her temperature and we kept taking it all day. It was like not high, but higher than like it was like I think like 98, 99, which isn't high. It's not like a high fever.
Let's go. Support for today's episode comes from One Skin. Now that the holiday buzz is behind us, which it was a lot,
It was.
it's a great time to focus on self-care. And that's actually one of my 2024 goals.
There
Just
you
throwing that
go.
out there. And that means taking care of your skin's appearance and its health too. One Skin makes it easy with their science-backed approach to healthier skin.
And their products are powered by a scientifically proven peptide called OS1 that targets fine lines and wrinkles right where they start for your cells. So it isn't just another skincare routine, it's a real science breakthrough. In fact, OS1 is the first of its kind to actually turn back the clock instead of just masking the signs of aging. Within their full line of face, eye, body, and sun and travel size products, One Skin doesn't only promise healthier skin, they prove it. And I'm all in.
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, we live in Arizona, so it is so dry,
dry
here.
here.
And I've talked about this before, but it makes my skin feel so soft, so moisturized, rejuvenated, and I feel like I'm like glowing.
For real, it's 2024. It's time to get the skincare routine in check, baby.
Oh,
One
yeah.
Skin is the world's first skin longevity company by focusing on the cellular aspects of aging. And your boy is 28 now. So we got to work on that. One Skin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started with 15% off using code YourCoupleT at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code YourCoupleT. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. New here, healthier skin. That's One Skin.
But it was
normal.
but it was she just felt warmer to me, and she
Yeah.
just didn't seem like 100%. So we were kind of waiting it out that day, and we're like, do we take her to the doctor? And everyone was like, not yet, like she's not like 100%.
Let me tell you, she cried all night long.
Anytime we
And
went to
but
go
it
put her
wasn't even
down,
like I need to sleep. It was like I feel bad.
yeah, it was
Because for
just,
us, it was not normal. If that was the normal, when she was crying, it'd probably be more like I need to sleep.
yeah, it was. But like every time we'd put her down, it's instant crying.
Instant
and like
crying.
that night, and then the next day,
She slept on my chest all night long.
that was really, really hard. And
Yeah.
I have like, I don't, okay, this is no offense to anyone if you do sleep with your baby in the bed. It just freaks me out so much. And so like, I personally, like I've seen even people, like people will take contact naps all the time. I don't even think I think I took one. I get so scared to sleep with her on me. I don't know why, because I can't really sleep on my back. And so when I get tired, I'll move. So like I get too scared to sleep with her, but Josh can sleep on his back and sleep with her sturdy, but it still scares me.
But I also like prop a pillow under my arm. Like
Yeah, you like
she's
basically
like
make it
so
so you can't
snuggled in
move.
there. It's like I can't roll over. She can't like fall out of my
But
arms.
she'll sleep in Josh's arms, but when she's in your arms, I'm like half sleeping because I'm so worried. I keep like checking on her in your arms just because like it scares me. But that night was that night was really hard. And I can't imagine if it was like that constantly, because it's like,
No, I feel for people that have to go through that, just because that would be hard, honestly. Like I'm definitely someone, I can function with like a little bit of sleep, but like I have to get like some chunk of sleep. Like I need at least like
Mhm.
one, like a 4 hour span where I get sleep and then I'd be okay. But like I
I
can't if it's like an hour, wake up, an hour, wake
yeah.
up. That's like it's like you didn't even sleep at that point.
I feel like I can function really, really well on little sleep, but I also can function and not having like if I wake up a lot in the middle of the night, but I'm still sleeping, if when I do go to bed, like I fall back asleep quick.
Yeah.
I feel like I function. That's what I've learned throughout like the first month of like having hers. I felt like I was okay, but there was some nights where it was like a long time where I was trying to figure everything out. And then when you're worried and you're not really like sleeping, like, so our first night when we put her in her room, I did not sleep like at all
Yeah.
because I was so nervous. I was checking the cameras like every like 20 minutes, any noise, anything. But then after the first night, knowing that she was okay and she did it, the second night, I slept so much better. And it was just like,
Speaking of, she's sleeping like a little baby right now in her room. So
good.
cute.
It's so cute.
So cute.
Okay.
So anyways, what are we saying on that? We didn't really like say like the expectation is true. Like what is it?
Okay. So like, it's not always
I think
true,
it just
though.
depends.
It
I think
really,
it just depends.
and I always had known that going in though, because people would be like, I don't know why I didn't really like when people said that, like, you'll never sleep again. Because I'm like, it's almost like they didn't know what to say. And that's just like the go-to thing to say. But
Not
like,
everybody said that. There were some people that were like super stoked.
no, they're stoked, but they're all, but I feel like people, strangers in
People
passing.
did want you to be like tired. Like I remember talking to a friend's dad and he was just like, yup, I can see it now in your eyes. Yup. You're not sleeping at night. And I was like, oh, I feel like, do I look tired?
I was like,
feel
damn,
great.
okay, for sure.
I was like, I like had to go look in the mirror after. I was like, I feel really good. I slept like a baby last night, actually.
You're like, I slept really.
I was like, yeah, we're busy. Like I'm working right now, but I
Yeah.
feel good.
No, I think it's just like people, if other people are going through, it's nice to go through things with other people as well.
That's true.
But also, yeah,
But
I don't know.
regardless, like I think even if you have the perfect sleeping baby, like you are gonna lose a little bit of sleep.
100%.
100%. Like your sleep schedule will probably not be the same for a couple months.
And that whole like once you're a parent, you'll never have the same sleep. To a degree, I do agree with, because it's like I'm not just sleeping, like
you're
not thinking
worried
about things.
sleep?
Yeah, it's like I can get in a deep sleep, but it's like you always have in the back of your head. So like I literally heard a voice in my head and I thought it was you talking to me, but it could have been me dreaming. And it was like I thought you had said this to me. So I woke up really fast and grabbed the
What
camera.
did I say?
And you basically this was last night, and it was like, have you checked on her?
I did say that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
When?
Well, because like same for you. Like
But you were sleeping.
anytime I wake
No,
up.
no, you were sleeping. You were awake, and like that you stayed awake, or you said it.
Anytime I like kind of wake up, like my eyes were probably so shut. I was like, have you checked on her? Like,
Okay,
probably, like,
babe,
tapped you like that.
knowing that you said that makes me feel so much more comfortable, because at first I was like, was that like a voice from God like telling me to check on her because something wasn't right?
I said that like 3 times, like one
So,
time, like
when
2
I-
times she didn't even answer.
When I checked and she was sleeping fine, I was like, oh my God. But now I couldn't sleep because I was like, was that God telling me to like,
it was me.
it was, I literally was
Definitely
so
wasn't
paranoid
God.
after though, because
It
I was
was
like,
me.
I had just slept in a deep sleep, and I was like, oh, I haven't, but I haven't, but I wake up pretty easily to like noise.
Yeah,
But I didn't
sleep
hear
like a
anything.
baby, but the minute I wake up, like I'm like, oh, is she all right? Is everything good?
Sometimes when you wake up though, you're like, is everything okay? Like, and you have this like stress in your voice. And
that
I'm
was
like,
just when you were breastfeeding. I would be
No,
like,
you
because I would
still-
see you
you-
awake. I'm like, is everything all right?
like even if I go to bed, I'd be like, what's wrong? Or like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, stop, you're stressing me out.
I'm just checking. I'm just making sure.
But I would say that it's not always true. You will lose sleep, like, yes. But I mean, I think some people still will get like, I don't know. It just depends on the baby. And you just got to remember too, if it is hard, like it's temporary and you're going to get sleep again.
Yep,
So
I agree.
it can be hard though. And that's not to say like, our baby sleeps, our baby's so good.
I will
like,
say
it's not-
actually,
what?
in the hot, like those first like 3 to 5 days,
Those are weird.
yeah, you're not gonna sleep, but like you're so hyped up on
You
like
are-
adrenaline and excitement. It's like you don't need to sleep.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
But I didn't sleep.
I
those
was too
days.
excited to sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep so much to the fact that I didn't know what day it was.
We're gonna interrupt this podcast for a quick sponsor from Osea. We know 2024 is here, and skincare routine is huge.
Not only just skincare routine, but like just taking care of your body. And I have never gotten so many compliments on my skin being so like looking soft as using the Osea body butter. It is so nice. Like it just feels, it's like, I don't know. I just look forward to like showering, then like putting it on after. Like
Yeah.
it is so nice.
Love the body
And
butter.
I just want to say a few things about it. What's really cool is it's clean, vegan, and sustainable body care is a glowing choice for achieving your New Year body care and self goals. So the Undaria algae body butter is a key part of like my routine. And if you guys want to make it part of your routine, we actually have a code for you guys.
Yeah, and I personally feel like my skin is way more hydrated, especially living in Arizona. My skin gets so dry here.
Yeah,
but putting the
it's-
body butter on, I haven't found a body butter that I actually liked. Katie B's always been stressing to
he has
get me
this-
to put it on, and I never do like different ones. But this
Yeah.
one, I'm finally like, I got my routine. I put it on after my shower.
I will say you had this weird thing about lotions and body butters, but
don't
like
know
this
why.
one, like you actually use. And okay, so it's clean, vegan, cruelty free, and climate neutral certified. And you never have to choose between your values and your best skin. You guys can just pick this and know that you're getting the best. So like I said, we have a code for you guys. You guys can start the new year with a fresh, clean vegan skincare and body care from Osea. And right now we have a special discount just for you guys to get 10% off your first order site wide with code YourCoupleT at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. So head to OSEAMalibu.com and use code YourCoupleT for 10%
Let's
off.
go.
It felt like we were in the hospital. Like people always said, oh, you'll be there for 2-3 days. It felt like it was one day, but one long
Long ass
constant
day.
day.
Yeah.
It's a weird time, but it's so fun because it's like, I don't know, you're just like have this like adrenaline
Those
rush.
were like my favorite days of my life, probably.
I thought that was so fun.
It was
Minus
so
the fact
excited.
that-
I've never been like so happy
Okay,
in my life.
if
That was
I could have
deep.
like gone up from my bed and like to the bathroom and all that, and
Oh
like
yeah, you probably not so much.
but it still was so fun. Like I was just in pain. I wish I could have moved more. That would have been nice. But yeah. Okay, next one. Let's talk about putting them in their own room. That is way harder
I
than
had
I
to
thought.
fight Katie B on it because okay, let me
Not
tell
really.
you, it was a weekend thing. I woke up Saturday, cute baby girl's over there, pick her up. We take we get an extra hour of sleep. I slept in. We get extra hour of sleep with her on my chest. And then like that day goes by. I'm pretty sure I went golfing.
Yeah,
or
you went
something.
golfing and
Was
then
it Saturday? I went golfing and I come home and Katie's like, I got everything switched over. She's sleeping in her own room tonight.
well, because we had
I'm like,
talked
"Nope,
about it when she turned 4
absolutely
months.
not. Absolutely not.
And I was like, I just want to do it and get it over with because I know the first couple nights, like I'm not going to be sleeping good and it's going to be really hard. And I'm like, let's do it now on a weekend when I know we don't have work tomorrow or like we don't have anything.
See, for me, it's the opposite. Like, it was like, I knew Sunday morning, I was like, I can sleep in a little bit. And when I say sleep in, like 7:38, well, I guess I could sleep in any day, but I like to wake up early in the weekdays. So I'm like, I'm going to wake up probably like 5 to pee and I'm going to grab her and she's going to cuddle me,
Yeah,
So
no.
I was like, I need one
basically,
more morning.
we didn't
where I get
fight
to
on
do that.
whether it was right or wrong. We both knew we wanted to
Oh,
do
no, it's
that.
right,
And the
yeah.
reason I wanted to put her in her own room is honestly like I slept great with her next to me. Like I loved it, but I'm like I definitely could notice a change in her starting to be more aware. And I didn't really want this. I didn't want her to be like have meltdowns as she wasn't in her room when she gets older and really realize that she was like there next to us.
Yeah.
I think it's just better to get her in her own room, her own routine. And that way it's just like, that's all she knows. Cause since she started becoming more aware, but it was so hard because I was like, oh, I'm never going to be like sleeping next to her like this again. Like, and that part made me sad. And then I'm like, do I have to do it too soon? And then I was like, I feel like it's good.
Isn't that
It'll
crazy?
be better.
The next time she's going to sleep in our room is probably when she had like a scary dream or
know.
a nightmare and comes running in. It's like, can I sleep in your
And I'll be like, of course. Just starts
like,
kicking in the middle of
no,
the night.
come here.
No, but it was a lot harder. Like literally the first night.
That's what I was like.
We were
I
like-
needed one more night. I was like, nope. I was not aware of this happening today.
No,
Nope.
but the
have to
reason
wait.
I wanted to do it wasn't because I didn't want one more night. It was
Oh,
like,
I know.
it was like,
I know.
let's like I was like, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and do it. Like, I'm so sad to do it, but like, I was like, we just got to do it. So, and honestly, like, it's been so good. I feel like she sleeps really good now.
She does.
Like last night she slept so good and she always sleeps good, but sometimes she'll like fuss. And we also are doing the, I don't know if you guys heard this. It's called the sit back method. It's like a taking care of babies like course, and basically just teaches them how to put themselves back to sleep. So that's been working good. We've been doing that. Hopefully it stays. We do have the 4 month. I'm very nervous for this month, but I'm hoping that
She's been 4 months for like a week and a half now. Actually, just kidding. It's been 4 days.
literally been
It's
4
4
days.
days.
Okay, and it could be anywhere from 4 to 5. So, anyway, we'll just hope she surpasses that. But I'm hoping that this will
I feel
teach
like
her-
that is I feel like she's already past that.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm doing my best to try and make sure that she has the most amount of milk because I've read that if like babies are like make sure if they're fed really good in the day that they'll sleep better. So, your girl's been hard at work breastfeeding. It's a
Good
full-time
job.
job.
You're a good mama. You know,
Thanks.
we went to our
Thank you.
4-month checkup today, and
Dude, why
Sky
do
May growing as she should, well fed, chonky
it
monkey.
it literally feels like I don't know why it feels like an award when like they tell you they're like, "Oh, good job, mama. Like you kept her weight up." And I'm like, "Let's go." Because and I understand why moms like get that like mom guilt of like when they're if their baby was underweight or this or that because I've seen so many posts I'm like it is so hard as a mom like you're trying like it is like so hard to try and balance how much like milk I have coming in if I want to go somewhere I have to like pump and get the milk out so that way I have enough freezer bags of milk and like when you don't produce like overproduce it definitely makes it more challenging and like just trying to make sure and it's one thing I didn't know about breastfeeding is it's so time consuming. Like I had no idea. Like I
Full
was
time job.
that's an expectation versus reality. I feel like no one really talks about how time consuming it is. Like I know people will say like it's hard, but then it's like good too. But like it was in the beginning, I thought it was definitely like way more time consuming than I was used
Yeah, I
to.
think just like obviously since you're breastfeeding, like you're the only one that can feed her, so it's more time consuming for you. But I think like even if you weren't breastfeeding, like you still have to feed a
Yes,
baby
yes.
every
And
like
that's time
2 to 3
consuming.
hours. It's gonna be time consuming
But
regardless.
it's just me
But
doing
it's
it. So
just you doing the work.
yeah, but I will say this is like 100% truth. Like in the beginning, I was like, holy crap, this kind of like not sucks, but I was like, this is like a lot of time. And if you guys know me, like I do not like sitting down and not doing something. I'm like so antsy. Like I just, the only time I can sit down, I feel like is at night when I'm watching a show or something. And I just don't like doing nothing if that
Yeah.
makes sense like and not saying that that's bad like I wish I was better at like just being able to relax but so like with breastfeeding it's like your hands are occupied and you're just kind of like sitting there and I was like oh my god this is like I love staring at my newborn baby and like I love those moments but also I'm like I want to get up and do something like it was just weird and that's how I am and then I feel like over time of breastfeeding it's almost taught me to like totally slow down and like totally take it in. Because before I was like taking it in, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I have a baby. She's so cute. Now I'm like, I'll literally just sit there and stare at her and I'm like, I love this now. It
Yeah.
like literally forced me to learn how to sit down and like enjoy it. And I think that's like the coolest thing because I didn't think that that was going to happen. And like now, like I look forward to feeding her
I
as to
am
before.
jealous. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Mhm.
obviously, like you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm jealous that like you get to have those bonding moments. Because whenever I
Mhm.
give her a bottle, it's so cute. She just
It's
like
so cute.
stares at you while she's eating the bottle.
And I feel like at first I almost felt like this is kind of like real honest. Like I don't even know if I told you this, but like I felt almost like guilty because it's like not that I didn't hate breastfeeding, but it definitely felt like a chore and a task. And I feel like that's because maybe I was doing it all every 3 hours, even in the night. So now that I'm not, it feels a lot. But I mean, I feed her all the time, sometimes every like 2.5 hours or 2 hours,
Mhm.
just try to keep her weight up. And now I just look forward to it as to before. I don't know why. It's just, it almost like taught me to like learn to love it. And I don't know. It's just like, but I felt guilty in the beginning because I was like, oh my God, everyone talks about this bond. And I was like, I love her and I
But
love this.
also, like I would say, I not to cut you off, but like I would say, like everyone always talks about like postpartum and stuff. Like I wouldn't. In my head, I'm like, you didn't have postpartum, but
No.
like maybe that was like a little bit of postpartum, like
No, I really wouldn't say it was
no,
postpartum. I honestly just
like
feel like
hormones or something.
no,
No,
because it wasn't that. It was like I felt I okay, this is what I personally think it was. I feel like when I just had a baby, I had like all this adrenaline and excitement and like I just felt like I had to do like this and this. Like I feel like I had to do everything. So sitting down to me felt like I was like I don't have time for this. I don't have time to sit down. And so like I felt like I wanted to get up and do things. But now it's like I feel like I
as you
have
have a fourth-degree tear.
no, literally. But also like I don't know. I don't know what was wrong. Like I just wanted to get up and move. He's fine. And yeah, but now I'm like I'm totally okay with just sitting down. And now I just oh my god, when she looks at me and like I love that bond so much and I definitely feel that more now than I guess even in the beginning, but I feel like I just wasn't sitting in and taking it all in.
Sky May is sleeping through it all right now. I'm like,
Good.
Topper was barking. We're talking right next to her
Her room is
room.
literally right here and we're just
I
yapping it
know.
up.
We're just yapping it up.
But yeah, I will say that breastfeeding was not the journey that I thought it was going to be, but I'm so happy with it and I love it. And that's another thing. It's like those topics are always so touchy because some people, it's like if you say you love breastfeeding, then people would be like, oh, are you putting down people who use formula? I'm like, okay, no, everyone has their own journey, their own thing. Like, I'm literally saying that breastfeeding is a lot of freaking work. And I could totally see why people like the mental load. Like, I know I have a lot of friends that stopped because of the anxiety or the stress from it because it is a lot. And the reason it's a lot, I feel like it's because it's all on one person.
Everybody's bodies are different.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through different
And
things.
when you can bottle feed or even pump and then let someone feed, it takes a little bit off too, which I don't know why. I feel like I pretty much exclusively breastfeed and will use a bottle here or there, but not too often.
We've bottle fed her probably like 4 times.
No, probably like 6, 7 times.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You've bottle fed her a couple times, and then
Like when she was,
Alex,
yeah.
and then the babysitter. So like a few times. But the thing is I don't know why. I feel like most people, I think it's because I don't produce a crazy ton of like milk. So we don't just have like a whole bunch of freezer bags.
True.
Cause like it almost to me is like I'm always with her. So I can either feed her or I have to pump and that's just as much work.
Yeah, I would just,
So I would just
honestly,
feed her.
well, that's the thing. I'm like, if you were gonna pump and like, then we bottle feed her, I'm like, I feel like it's almost easier.
But some people will get a lot of milk to where they could get like 2 feedings in. So they could put one in a bag and freeze it and
That's
then let you.
nice.
So that would
Yeah,
make it different. But
that's
that's
nice.
not really the case. So like we just really haven't. Like I said, it's totally different for every single person. Everyone's like breastfeeding journey or feeding their baby journey is completely different. Okay, let's say being around people who are sick with a baby. Let's talk about that.
First of all, I don't really enjoy being around people that are sick in general.
But
To
I
be
normally,
honest,
I
'cause I
normally,
don't want to get sick.
no, but I'm normally not so cautious of like so like I'll be around someone if they're sick if they keep their distance a little and like they're not
Yeah, but like in the
super sick.
back of your mind, you're like, I really don't want to get sick. Like they were so sick.
Yes,
Like,
but what I'm
but
saying is
now it's
when
even
you have a
way more
baby,
extreme.
you feel like I have never felt so much stress, I feel like, in my life than when we just went to Michigan. Just the first couple days, we were around everyone that was so sick,
And
like
some people haven't
gnarly
even met.
sick.
Some people haven't even met Sky yet. So like
Yeah.
everybody wants
And
to
so
meet
then
her.
everyone was saying they were
Like family,
they were like
friends.
they're like, oh, I'm not sick, I'm not sick, and like this is like our family, and they haven't seen her, and this is their only chance to meet her, and they're saying they're not sick, and like, but then they're like coughing. I'm like, you, and you're, it's just like so hard because like you promised you're not sick, like, and like everyone's, of course, people are gonna say they're
Christmas
not.
time, everybody is sick in Michigan. Like I feel like if you live in a cold state, like
It was-
everybody is sick
it
around
was
Christmas time.
so stressful because I feel like everywhere we went, she was just surrounded by sickness. And then it ended up being that like my dad got super sick and my sister, and we were staying in the house. Like we can't not go anywhere.
At
And
that
they had
point,
already
I
been
was just
around her.
like,
She had
screw
already
it.
been like completely exposed to everyone being sick. That's why I said that one day we thought she was sick for the day.
Yeah.
And luckily she never got like too sick. But it was so weird because it's like I had never felt that stress because I never really cared being around people sick. I'm like, oh dang, hopefully I don't get sick. But when you have a baby, you're like way more like, I don't know, you're like so much more nervous.
Oh yeah. And
It's
then
way
like
different if a baby gets sick.
yeah, and you hope. I feel like once you have a child, it's like then you become more aware. Like now, like before, obviously I'd always wash my hands if like I held someone's
Yeah.
kid, but like I never really like thought twice about any of that stuff. But I feel like now if I was meeting someone's baby for the first time, like okay, I'm not sick, like I'm really scrubbing my
Well,
hands,
I
like
I love
and make it aware to them that like when I
yes.
get there, I'm washing.
Yes.
Oh, I'm washing my hands first, like
I
just because like
love
people like to see that.
No, I love when people will be like, "Oh, I want to hold her," and they'll literally go wash their hands. And it's like it's more for I feel like it's more for me because I'm like, there's been so many times where we've been out and about and I grab Sky and not washed her hands, or so many people have,
100%.
because you're not washing your hands every time you touch a baby. Let's be
No,
real, like that's just not happening. And people are gonna grab them without washing your hands. But it's like when you see it, just I feel like it's more like a sense of relief for the parents. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
and like it's just respectful. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think like definitely parents like they always do that. Like they just
Yeah.
understand, you know. So
Okay, the next topic I want to talk about, and this actually just kind of happened yesterday. I was talking to someone, is basically, I think that people are overbuying for babies and like baby registries and things like that. I think one thing I didn't realize when you have a baby is you really don't need as much as like social media makes it seem like you need all these products. I really think that people, well, I actually think this is
I
a
agree.
huge problem in general nowadays from like TikTok and everything, is people are over consuming and thinking they need all these products that they really don't.
That goes with it. That's
It really goes with
everything
everything.
in life,
But
not
like
just
when it comes to a
babies.
baby, like think about like how many things that we had. And I actually didn't buy a lot of things because I was like, oh, I don't want too much clutter. And we haven't even used like there's so many things where I'm like, oh, we won't use this until she's older. Like I'm not
100%.
and like even like we didn't buy like a saucer or like a basically that thing we have. We didn't buy that until she was like old enough for one. And basically I saw this TikTok and it was an interior designer and she was like, don't buy things for your baby until they need them because you might not even know you need them. Because like we had like a Nuna swing and she never really cared for it. But some babies love it. But like we never really needed that.
Never. We never even put her in it.
You know, and there's like different baby products where in like before I'm like, oh, we'll need this, we'll need that, we'll need this. So like I just feel like sometimes you don't know. Like it's better when you have a baby to buy as you they need it.
True. I agree.
You know, like there I just feel like there were so many products that we
But I
had
do
that
feel like for like something like that swing, it's like, how would we have known that she didn't really care for that until we
but
tried?
but that's
But
what I'm saying.
I agree with what you're saying.
But
It's
what
like
I'm
you
saying,
don't
like
need as much as you
we
think you do.
didn't like okay, let's say we couldn't afford the swing. We got the swing for free, but let's just say we couldn't afford it, but we're stressing before we got to have everything prepared for the baby because that's a big thing is babies are really expensive. But sometimes I think it's like you don't need to buy something unless you're like let's say she was not laying down. She'd lay down easily. If we're like we need to buy a swing or try something new to
True.
get her to sleep.
That's true. That's true.
You know, so I feel like sometimes people just overbuy with baby. That's what I've learned. Like I just think that you
I
need
agree.
like you really don't need anything like toy wise for a baby until they're about 4 months old. And
True.
even then the toys you do need are like really cheap, like that little ball is like $5 and like those little
She loves
books.
that thing.
And like as they get older, you'll need more toys and more things, but I think people just overbuy.
Diapers, you definitely need.
You
Wipes,
do.
you
This is
definitely
okay, this is
need.
something that I'm so stupid on though.
A good amount of onesies, I'd say you need like for the
I
first stage.
yes,
Unless you do a lot of laundry.
I wish that well actually the first like 2 months of her life, I didn't like her in onesies. I don't know why. I didn't really care for onesies.
No.
I don't know.
What did we dress her in?
I'm talking about like the footy pajamas actually, but I guess it was hot, so she was more in one just
Okay, I
simple
was gonna
onesies.
say like it was definitely like a zip
Yeah, yeah,
onesie.
yeah. But they weren't like
But
long
it
footy
didn't.
ones.
Yeah,
But those ones I
that's
really do
true.
love now. But anyway, what I did for my registry, I like registered for all different sizes of diapers. I even have like size 4. I don't even know how old she has to be in size 4 diapers. And so now I've just been holding onto these boxes of diapers, which it's nice because we haven't had to buy diapers. But also like I don't want to store these diapers for so long. Like I would have just got size 1 and 2 and not like 3, 4, 5. Like
We did get a lot of diapers on the registry, didn't we?
not compared to most people, Josh. Like most people, when they have a baby shower, they get lots, or they'll do like a gender reveal and people bring diapers and stuff. We didn't. We only got a couple.
How
but
many
they were
times have
giant
you bought
boxes.
diapers? Or do you just buy them and I don't know?
I have only bought them one time because we were out of newborn diapers.
Yeah.
But okay, then again, we have been sent diapers too, so I'm forgetting about
Okay,
like
I was
Coterie
gonna
sending us
say like
diapers.
me personally, like I haven't bought diapers, so
No, no, no. We've been sent diapers, but I wouldn't have got the bigger sizes
I see.
going back.
I see.
But if you have storage in your house, then I would get the bigger size. We just don't have like I feel like that much storage.
Yeah.
Like we have like one closet for storage.
Yeah, we have been blessed with diapers. That has been
Yes.
super helpful.
But honestly, like we have been super blessed with a lot of like baby products that have been sent to us. But it's so fun because we have like
There's so many friends that
we have
are
so many
having
friends
babies
that are
now.
younger and have babies too, and it's so fun to be able to like just be like, here's a brand new blah blah blah, like here you go. And I love like I'm not a person, I don't like clutter, I don't like too many things, and I don't hold on to things, and I like things getting the multiple use for people.
Facts.
So we've just been like like literally, do you see that box of like all those brand new like baby bottles
Yeah.
and things? I'm like, here, take that. Like I love like giving like our friends that are having babies or about to have babies like the stuff that we don't use, because honestly, a lot of like even the newborn stuff, it's so short lived.
Very, I mean,
Like literally, like some of the even like that
they
bassinet,
grow up
like
so quick.
it's no. I'm gonna
They grow up so quick.
okay. Let's talk about the nursery. Do you think that the nursery has to be done before the baby's born?
Like yes and no. I say yes because depending on like how busy your schedule is, like now you have a newborn and now you're trying to like finish getting a room together, like
Yeah.
even if you're not doing it yourself, now you have a newborn and you have people coming and like painting and
Yeah.
putting stuff together possibly. But
So
like I would say 100%, like why not do it before?
So a lot of people are stressed about that they don't get it done before. So I think it's like you don't really use the nursery
Yeah, it's
in the
not a big
beginning.
deal if you
It's
didn't.
more so it's up to you if you want it done. Because even in like the first 2 months, I feel like we used the nursery because all her clothes were in there, but we didn't really use it as like putting her in her bed or even using the rocking chair as much. Like I just used that rocking chair in there, not because it was comfier than the couch. Honestly, the couch was comfier. It's not even that comfy of a rocking chair, but because I loved her nursery so much because it was decorated
Yeah.
and done, I wanted to go in there and spend as much time because I loved
The
it.
changing table we have set up, definitely need that ready
Yeah.
to go. I would say like
Oh,
I love the changing table, especially this one. I like way better than like our setup in our bedroom.
okay,
Like
so that's the
so much
peanut,
better.
the Kigaroo changer. If you have that on your baby registry, just take it off. It's not worth the money. They're expensive.
In
Like
there?
that,
The
yeah,
one in
like
there?
that one's way more expensive. And like honestly, I thought we'd need like 2 changing tables. You only really need one.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not like it works.
It's just not.
I
I
don't
don't
think you
know.
need it.
The reason I don't love it is I feel like it gets so cold when it got cold with
Oh,
the
true.
AC on, and
True.
like it's just not as like that one doesn't seem like it gets.
I think our changing setup in here is like what I would say someone would need to have ready.
Well, I
Like you
have
got
it
the
organized.
diapers
I got the
laid out.
diapers. You got
It's
diaper
just
rash cream if
easy.
you need
Walk in
it.
there, done.
Yeah. There's just, but I do think there's a lot of baby products that like people think you need from TikTok and stuff. And I understand as a first time mom, you just don't know what you actually need because it seems so stressful. You're like, I've never taken care of a baby. I don't know. But then once you have the baby, you're like, okay. Next one.
Sometimes I'm like staring at this baby monitor and I'm like, I gotta make sure like see her little chest going up and
Oh,
down.
there's like a
she's just
Zoom
been-
feature. So at night I double tap
I
and I
know.
zoom in on her chest and I just watch her little chest go up and down to make sure she's good. Next one. Let's talk about traveling with a baby. Is it possible? You know how a lot of people are like, you'll never travel again.
I would say it's definitely possible. It's gonna be different.
Yeah, I think once it also gets harder is when kids get older. It's like now you're buying a lot of like travel would be way more expensive.
Yeah.
So, but like as a baby, it's not more
Yeah,
expensive.
you have until they're 2 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
Then you have to buy them their own seat. But I mean, for us so far, it's been good. I can't really complain. It's definitely more challenging. Like,
And I think even
what
if,
time does she need to be fed?
Mhm.
Like, when are we boarding the plane? Like, how's the timing gonna work out?
but like she's been pretty good. And like we've even like, I've watched like a movie and she just sits on my lap. And like there has been babies on planes that will cry. And I honestly, like, in my opinion, it's like not that big of a deal if a baby cries because
No.
I've always thought this kind of even before. I'm like, yeah, no one wants to be next to a crying baby. Like that's not ideal. But also like bring headphones. Like I don't know. Like it sucks, but like I've always now being a parent especially, I feel bad if I hear a crying baby because I feel bad for the parents. But I feel like if you're a parent and you're okay if the baby's crying and you're in the back trying to like, you know, you get up, you're trying to make them stop. It's like if you can handle that like anxiety because I feel like that can make people feel very anxious because like when you have a crying baby, like everyone's
I
staring
will
at me
say
like
the first time she did cry on a plane, I was like, wow, I've never noticed how quiet it is on planes. Like her cry it wasn't even like a loud cry. It wasn't like a
No, it
scream
was
or
quiet.
anything. I was like, that sounded really loud.
It's funny
Like I think
because
I was just in my head.
what
like,
flight was it? It was the flight when we went to Michigan. She
Yeah, it was
wasn't
that
even
one, yeah.
fussy, but she definitely was like, normally she was just sleeping on planes and like so quiet, like didn't like make a peep. This plane, she like made a couple like fusses, but it wasn't, I wouldn't even say she was like crying, but like in our heads, we're like, oh, that flight was like way more rough than the other ones. And then we get off the plane and people are like, wow, that is the best baby. Like she didn't even cry. And I'm like, you think so?
I was like,
This
what?
baby? We're like, she was stressing us out. So I understand that stress as like a parent because like if a baby cries, but I think it's like you just got to do it because like a baby might cry, she might not. Like we could go, she's been so good traveling. We could hop on a flight and she just loses it for
Well, that's
an
what I'm saying.
hour.
I
Like,
feel like people build up all these things in scenarios where it almost becomes impossible to even try it. It's like it's with anything in life. Like just go try it. Like,
anything
see,
that's challenging
maybe
is
you
going to be
travel
worth
one
it.
time, she cries the entire flight, and you're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that again. And like, at
Or you
least
try it
tried
again,
and you know.
or you try it again and it's completely different. Like it just,
Right.
you really never know. It's not like you can talk to your baby and be like, look.
For me, the only concern that ever comes around in my head with traveling, because like honestly, if she cried the whole flight, it is what it is. If people want to be mad about it, buy noise canceling headphones or make enough
It's not
money
like
to afford
you're
a private
hoping you're
jet. It's not your plane.
yeah, it's not like
It's
you're
not your
hoping or
airplane.
trying to be rude or
Yeah, like
like
we're gonna do everything we can for her not to cry, and she's been good so far. But I'm just saying, I forgot what I was even saying, but
I think what's
I don't
worse
know what I
is
was.
than a crying baby is when you have like a 5-year-old kid or a 6-year-old kid who's like kicking the seat and the parents are
Oh
doing nothing.
God.
It's fine if a kid's having like a moment because they're a kid, right? But
Yeah.
it's like when the parents just don't care and you're like, dude, come on. Like, come, like, please care a little bit. Like, your kid is literally like, then I've been behind kids and I had this one kid, he was like smashing my seat, but the parent was like on him. So I felt bad. And then I turned around, I'm like, you're good. Like,
Yeah.
you're good.
No, but I mean, you can't let things stop you
No.
from doing stuff and living your life. You know.
Because
Oh,
you
I
never
was
know.
gonna say the only thing that scares me about traveling with a kid is them getting sick. Like
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of people. Planes are usually kind of like grimy. I feel
I
like
think the only
that's the
one
only
thing
thing that ever
I've
concerns
realized
me.
more is how much little kids cough. And when little kids cough, it's
It
like
sounds gross.
it sounds like they're so sick
That's what I
because
would
kids
say.
don't know how to cough and they don't know how to like cover. So they're like, and you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Do you remember when we went to Chipotle and this kid was coughing? He was super sick. Sky's little this little like monkey blanket
Oh
fell out of
God.
her
Yeah.
car seat and he literally grabbed it
Super
like
nice. He like picked it
super
up
nice. It
for
was super
us.
cute. Like he
I was
grabbed it
like,
and he was like
thanks.
super sick and Josh like grabbed it and then the mom's like, hey, just want to, and I'm so glad she did this because I thought he was sick. I was like, I had heard him coughing.
Oh, she came out to us after and was
She
like,
was like,
hey, just to let you
hey,
know.
don't put that in her car seat because he's sick. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I thought that was really nice that the mom told us that
Yeah.
because I had like thought that. I literally told Josh before, I was like, I think that kid's sick. Like, don't. And it was really cute, but you were like, it's just you're trying to be like, you're trying to protect your kid too.
Yeah, the last time I was around a lot of kids, I never noticed it. It was actually in Michigan. And like
Yeah.
I was extra already thinking about it. And
Yeah.
everybody there, the adults were like hand sanitizer, like shooting hand sanitizer all day long on people's hands. But I was like, I thought about it way more. I was like, oh my God, all these kids, like
Well,
they're
because
picking their burger. I can't
burger,
say
booger.
it.
Josh says burgers instead
Why
of
can't I
boogers.
say it?
I don't know.
Say it again.
Booger.
Booger.
Say booger.
Burger. I can't do it. I don't know why.
I love that you say that.
They're picking their nose. They're sneezing in their hands. They're like eating their fingers. I'm like, oh my gosh, these little like 5-year-olds are nasty.
But it's cute. Okay. Next one. Having babies makes you want to have more babies. It's a yes and no.
I agree.
Cause like right now I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to have like another. Like I was like, I feel like it totally, you're like, I want another. Because I was like, especially when she's older, I'm like, she's gonna need someone to play with. But then also I'm like, I don't want to rush it because I want to enjoy it. And then I think it depends on what phase your baby's in. So like
I
right
also don't want to
now,
wait. Like I feel like if you wait too long, it almost might become a thing. I feel like in my head, I'd be like, oh my God, like I can't imagine having another child right now. Because like I feel like once a kid's a toddler, like that's when it gets harder.
no, I know. So it's
So
like
I'm
you
like, if
almost
you
gotta do
wait
it
to
before you
that
say you
point,
can't.
then I feel like mentally you'd be like, I can't imagine having a newborn right now. Like
Yeah.
she's running around throwing Legos at the wall.
Once you're already
Like
pregnant, you have no.
I don't
You're like,
know.
we're already in. We're in deep.
But I feel like the people that have a good amount of kids like always say just like knock it out. It's easier.
Yeah.
They're those terms I always hear like, oh, just get it done, just do it. But like also I'm in no rush to have another kid, but I
Yeah.
would say having a baby definitely makes me want to have
More
another
kids.
kid.
Well, because you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Like there's this TikTok audio where it's like, can I have 5 more of these little blonde bitches? Like it's the funniest audio. And obviously like the kids aren't like bitches, but like
Right.
it's just the audio is so funny because so many moms will do it to their little blonde babies. They're like, actually, can I have 5 more of these little because it literally is like you want more. You're like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. Like I want her to like have and then you want like them to have like siblings and I don't know. It's just
Well, yeah, and I just think at the end of the day, like I always think of my future self, and I'm like, when I'm 60 years old, like I could have $1 billion, but like if you have no one to spend it with, or like you
billion
don't have
dollars on Christmas alone. Mm-mm.
like you don't have
Or no money at all.
family, you
Your
don't have
grandkids.
friends, like that would be like the saddest thing. So I just feel like having a lot of kids
Yeah.
would be awesome, and like it's your little family, and then they
Yeah.
have kids.
It even
And
says in the Bible, it's like the greatest gift
that's
from
all that
God.
really
Like,
matters at the end of the day. Think of when you're sick, or if you ever were like super sick, like what are you gonna think of first? Your kids?
yeah,
Probably. Your wife?
exactly.
Probably.
Okay, let's talk about this last topic. This one is really interesting. And I know people used to always say it, but I never really realized that babies are so much cuter than newborns. I guess I never paid attention to it, but after having a baby and now seeing newborns versus like babies, because I never paid attention to baby's age ever. If it was just under one, I'm like, oh, it's a baby. Like I just never like now I look at babies, I'm like, oh, that baby's like 6 months. That baby's like 9 months.
Yeah.
And now even realizing like people,
Okay, what age do you consider like when is a newborn like over?
I
Like
think after like
3 months, 2 months?
3 months,
Okay.
2 months. Yeah.
I would say at first I probably didn't agree with that, but now I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I would,
This might
I
sound
thought
bad. to
Sky
say.
was like the cutest little baby, and I still
I still think she was so
think she
cute.
was the cutest little baby. But like she had like her hair, she had the weirdest
She was going through some hair
grandpa
issues.
looking hairline,
It was so cute though.
but it was cute, and I still think
It
it's
was
cute.
so
But
cute.
I'm like looking at it now, I'm like I think she's way cuter now.
Well, okay, so that's the thing is I think babies get cuter over time and they just keep getting cuter, but it's like newborns are so cute because they're
They're like
like
tiny.
they're
They're
so
little.
precious. They're
Yeah.
like precious is what you'd say. Like they
Right.
really are. It's like they're
We
so
saw a newborn today actually at Sky's doctor's
a
appointment.
baby had to have been like a preemie but just gotten out. Like
Okay, because
he
I was
was
gonna say I
he
don't
was
remember Sky
tiny.
being that tiny.
He literally looks at me and goes, "Was Sky that small?" I'm like, "No."
I was like,
I was like, "Sky was a big girl."
no way has she
She was
grown that much already.
wait, how much? 8.7 was it?
Yeah,
8.7. Yeah, she was a bigger girl. And which honestly I'm so happy for because I've heard that the bigger babies are, the better they sleep too.
interesting.
That baby was so tiny. And like, okay, that baby wasn't necessarily like a cute baby, but it was adorable because it was so little and so,
little and
like
tiny. I didn't really pay attention.
so it's not like
too
babies
much,
are we're
but
not saying newborns are ugly. We're just saying that babies are so much cuter than newborns.
Yeah.
And before I never really I guess because like I had seen pictures of my newborn the first day I was born, and I was like, oh, I was ugly. I was
Yeah,
ugly.
I
And I
would
thought I was an ugly
say-
baby, but I wasn't an ugly baby.
Yeah, I would say most like first day out pictures, like their face is swollen.
But you
like,
don't realize like when I had Sky, I knew she was like a little
She had
swollen.
like a little
but,
cone
like,
head from coming out.
I did
like,
not know she was that swollen. Like now looking back at pictures,
Yeah,
I'm
her
like,
face
holy
was swollen.
I'm like, oh my God, she was so swollen. Her eyes were red. And I'm like, she looked like totally swollen. And I did like when you have a baby, you're just in this like delusion land where you're like, oh my God, like
Well, she was cute,
no,
but like
she was so cute, but I didn't realize how swollen she was. Like I just
no,
I don't know.
100%.
Because
Yeah,
I also
but because
didn't
I don't know. I look at like the first day we got home and we put her in like that little knitted outfit. Like I thought she looked so cute in that.
oh, I still think she looks so cute in
Yeah.
that.
No,
I
I'm
just
saying
think
like I still do. Like
I think that I think that babies are so cute. I just think they develop more of like they
I think she
less
was so
swollen. They look
cute.
less like guppies.
I think she was so cute then, but the minute like that whatever happened to her hair, that's when we had a little bit of a phase,
But
a little month-long
I didn't
phase.
even realize when we were
Me
in it till
neither.
after I looked back at pictures. I'm like, what happened to her hair? So she okay, if you guys
She
don't know,
still was super cute, but
She
like
was-
without her hat on, I'm like, she looked like a grandpa.
so I don't know what happened because so she had all this hair. She had a ton of hair.
It always
and I
falls
know
out.
babies' hairs fall out, but it like fell out like literally just up top. But then she had this long hair, and then she had these little spikes. It was the fact that I love it because it looked funny, but it also was like so cute. Like I love that her hair did that. Like I
That
wouldn't
was cute.
like it was. I don't know. It's so cute. But she had like these little spikies come up,
Yeah.
and then no hair up front. Her hair's growing back now, so
It's coming in. It's coming in.
Okay, but wait, there was one more I wanted to talk about. Oh, last one. And this one I don't even want to save because I don't want people to think I actually regret it. But let's talk about name regret.
Name regret.
Like when you name your baby, like having like a regret on the name. So I didn't have name regret. Like I love her name and I still love it so much.
Same.
But it felt weird to me when we had her and people would say her name because I wasn't used to people saying her name.
I
It
will
was
say
such like a
that-
secret. Like I was
Still feels weird to me. I don't know why.
like it's feeling way more
Because
normal
we
now.
don't really call her Sky. Like
No,
we
I
have
feel-
so many nicknames for her.
We call her Chonkzil, Chonky Monkey.
I feel like we never call her Sky.
I call her Sky all the time.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't.
Really? See, I love her name, so I call her
Chongzilla.
Chongzil. Yeah.
I call her Chongzilla. I don't know why.
Or Yonky Butt. I don't know.
Yonky Butt or Chongzilla.
But okay, it just feels weird because when you're not used to a name and now you have like, I don't know, she's like with us forever. Like that name's always there.
Can
So
I
you're
just
like,
say,
what?
interrupt you real quick? Because like I just thought about this. Like we were talking about the other day, how weird it is. Like I feel like having a baby in these times versus like when our parents had us. Cause like I always wish, like I barely see pictures of my parents when they were like 16.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever seen a picture of my parents when they were like 15 or 16. But like not only is Sky gonna be able to see pictures,
She's gonna like know our
but she's
relationship.
gonna be able to like listen to our podcast of like you even think my parents like like you say funny goofy things when your kid's like a newborn
Yeah, yeah.
probably like
But to be
we
able
call
to
her
watch
Chonkzilla,
that,
but to like remember that when she's like old enough to like be like, oh
mhm.
yeah, we used to call you this, which I'm sure a lot of people remember certain stuff like that, but it's like
It's gonna be so weird for these
it's in
kids to
our
grow up
videos,
with.
like it's on our podcast, it's like on Instagram, it's
Like,
weird.
how cool would it be to be able to
I think it'd be
watch?
so cool.
I don't know, because I even would love to watch like home videos of like me when I was a kid, but my mom has like the most random, and it's like they're like filming random people.
Yeah.
You're on it for like 2 seconds and then it's like off. I think it'd be so cool. One, if I could like know my parents, like their story a little bit, I think that would be kind of cool. And even people who aren't influencers, I think there's so many videos and recaps. Like everyone does like a 2023 recap.
Yeah, I was
or
gonna say
different videos.
even if you're not
There's
an influencer,
videos
I
now
feel like
on your iPhone.
yeah, it's so accessible now. Like you have an iPhone, everyone records everything.
So yeah, like Sky's age, like she's gonna be growing up with people where it's like we see all the videos on their parents. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be so different. But I think it's gonna be really cool.
It's just interesting. I wish I could go back. Like I think that'd be
Do
cool.
you have any regrets of Sky seeing anything or no?
Seeing anything?
Like anything we've posted or like,
I would say no.
because like we're very open and honest in our stuff, but I feel like I don't regret that because I feel like I'd want to be open and honest too with my child
100%. I mean,
in a shelter. Like,
yeah, like if she was 5 years old listening to one of our podcasts, I'd probably be like, maybe not, depending on what the podcast was.
well, also I feel like when you're 5, something.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I personally don't like hearing myself talk, so if she's got it playing.
Yeah, you'd be like,
shut that off.
turn that off.
I don't even think it'd be like something like she watched like that, but like I just think it'd be cool.
I think it'd be so cool, like just be like, oh, do you want to watch mom and dad's first date? And then she like watches a vlog of like us
That's
hanging
weird,
out.
yeah.
Like that's just cool.
Well, it's already crazy because like
It's been
even when we were talking about how when her hair was falling out, like I kind of like I remember in my head like what that looked like, but like actually going back and watching the video of when we traveled to St. Louis, I was like, damn, that hairline was bad. No, I don't know. I think it's fun, and I was just saying like I think any kid born now like is gonna be able to like actually see into their parents' lives so much more because of social media.
I wonder if
And
it's
I think
gonna
it's
make
cool
them.
because I would love to see that.
I wonder if it's gonna give them, like in my opinion, I feel like if I could know more about your parents and really like my parents, I'm saying, and like know more about them like as younger, and like things that they went through, I'm like, I wonder if that's gonna build parents and kids closer because they'll understand them when they're at that age. Like
That's what
let's
I
say
was
like
kinda thinking.
Sky was like 18 years old, but she's watching like young 18-year-old me, and then like I don't know if they can relate and be like, oh my gosh, like this, like I don't know, maybe it might open their eyes to more things too.
That's saying YouTube's even gonna be around. Like all those videos might be deleted.
I mean,
then.
YouTube's been
Who
around for a
knows?
minute though. You gotta
No,
remember.
100%. But you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. But
Kind of
anyway,
wild to think about.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought this topic was like very interesting because I feel like we haven't been able to catch up with you guys and talk about a lot of these
Yeah.
parent things. But anyway,
First podcast of the year. We're gonna be dropping all the tea in 2024
oh yeah.
on your cup of tea.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.